Frank Bennett sat in his dark office. The only light came from his computer screen. The time on his watch showed 2:17 a.m. Most people had gone home hours ago, but Frank had stayed. Something about the data felt wrong. He had been looking at the same numbers for 12 hours now. Frank worked for the United States Space Intelligence Agency. His job was to look for signs of life in space. Most days, he found nothing. Today was different. This can't be right, he said to himself. He rubbed his tired eyes and looked again. The data showed a strange pattern. Something was blocking the normal signals from a spot near Earth's orbit. It wasn't a satellite. It wasn't space junk. It was something else. Frank picked up his phone and called his boss, Director Catherine Walsh. "Director, I think you need to see this," Frank said when she answered. "It's the middle of the night, Bennett." "This better be good," she replied, her voice heavy with sleep. "I found something in orbit, something that shouldn't be there, something that's hiding." There was a pause on the line. "I'll be there in 30 minutes. Frank went back to his data. He ran more tests, checked more angles. Each result confirmed what he had first thought. There was a large object in Earth's orbit that no one had seen before. It was using some kind of technology to stay hidden. He heard footsteps in the hall. Director Walsh walked in wearing jeans and a sweater. Her hair was messy and she looked tired. "Show me," she said. Frank pointed to his screen. "See this area, here? There should be normal space radiation, but it's being blocked by something big, something that doesn't want to be seen." Walsh leaned closer. "How big?" "About the size of a football field." "A ship?" Frank nodded. "I think so, and I don't think it's one of ours." Walsh stood up straight. "How long has it been there?" "That's the scary part. I checked old data going back years. It's been there at least since 2016, maybe longer." Walsh picked up Frank's phone and dialed a number. "This is Director Walsh. Wake up the Secretary of Defense. Now." 4 hours later, Frank sat in a room with 12 men and women in suits. The president's face looked at them from a large screen on the wall. "You're telling me," the president said, "that an alien ship has been watching us for years, and we just now found it?" "Yes, sir," Walsh replied. "And there's more. Bennett, tell them what you found in the data packet." Frank cleared his throat. "When I focused our equipment on the hidden area, we picked up a data transmission. It was coded, but I broke part of it." He opened his laptop. "It's a list of people the ship is watching. And at the top of the list is Hilary Clinton, the EO." Room got very quiet. "Why Clinton?" asked a man in a Navy uniform. "The data says she's part of a group that has been stopping human progress. The aliens think she and others have been keeping humans from learning about space travel, clean energy and medicine that could help everyone." "That's crazy," someone said. "Is it?" asked another voice from the door. Everyone turned. Elon Musk walked into the room. 2 serious men in black suits followed him. "Mr. Musk," the president said from the screen. "Thank you for coming so quickly." Musk nodded. "When you said it was about the Vordari, I came right away." "The what?" Frank asked. "The Vordari. That's what they call themselves. The aliens in the ship." The room erupted in questions. The president held up his hand and everyone got quiet. "You know about them?" the president asked Musk. "Yes. They contacted me in 2016. They've been helping me with some of my company's biggest projects. They're friendly, but they have strict rules." "And one of those rules involves arresting Hilary Clinton?" Walsh asked. "Not arresting exactly," Musk said. "More like putting her on trial. The Vordari believe that humans are ready to join the rest of the civilized planets in our galaxy. But first, we need to deal with the people who have been holding us back." "That's why they want Clinton?" Frank asked. Musk nodded. "Her and 37 other people around the world. The Vordari say these people have been stopping new technology from being shared. They've been keeping humanity stuck on Earth when we could be exploring space." The Secretary of Defense stood up. "This is insane. We can't just hand over an American citizen to aliens, especially not someone like Clinton." "We may not have a choice," Musk said. The Vordari ship up there? It's just a small scout. Their main fleet is on the edge of our solar system. They've been patient, but they want to see justice done. Frank felt sick. What kind of justice? The Vordari don't kill or hurt people, Musk explained. They want Clinton and the others to face the truth in front of all humans. They want everyone to see what these people have been hiding. The president spoke up. Where does this happen? This trial? In public, Musk said. The Vordari can broadcast to every screen on Earth at once. Everyone will see the evidence. And what happens after? Walsh asked. That depends on what the evidence shows, Musk said, and what humanity decides to do about it. Frank's phone buzzed. He looked down at it and felt his heart beat faster. Director, he said to Walsh, the ship is moving. Everyone gathered around Frank's laptop. On the screen, they could see the hidden area in space was changing. The hiding technology was turning off. They're showing themselves, Musk said. The image cleared. A huge ship appeared, silver and smooth, with lights that pulsed along its sides. My God, someone whispered. It's starting, Musk said. They're ready for the world to know they're here. As they watched, the ship began to glow brighter. A beam of light shot down toward Earth. What's happening? The president demanded. They're setting up for the broadcast, Musk explained. By tomorrow, everyone on Earth will know about the Vordari and about the people who have been keeping secrets. Frank looked at the ship on his screen. Then he looked at Musk. You knew this was coming. That's why you're here. Musk nodded. I've been preparing for this day for years. The Vordari told me it would happen. They said humanity needed a friend in the room when they arrived. And you're that friend? Walsh asked. I hope so, Musk said, because what happens next will change everything. The ship grew brighter. More beams shot toward Earth. In homes, offices, and on phones across the planet, screens began to show the same message. Truth comes. Justice follows. Frank thought about all the nights he had spent looking at the stars, wondering if anyone was out there. Now he knew the answer, and it scared him. What do we do now, he asked. Now, Musk said. We get ready to face the judge. The next morning, Frank woke up on a small bed in a room at the Pentagon. He had only slept for 3 hours. His phone was ringing. Bennett, he answered, his voice rough from lack of sleep. Turn on the TV, Director Walsh said. Any channel? Frank grabbed the remote and turned on the television. The same image was on every channel. The silver Vordari ship hovered above New York City. It was massive. People in the streets below pointed up at it. Some ran. Others took pictures with their phones. It's happening, Frank said. Get dressed and come to the Situation Room, Walsh said. Musk is here, and we have a visitor. Frank rushed to get ready. When he entered the Situation Room 15 minutes later, he stopped in the doorway. Sitting at the table with Elon Musk and several government officials was a tall being that looked almost human. Its skin had a slight blue color. Its eyes were large and completely black. It wore a simple silver suit that seemed to flow like water when it moved. Mr. Bennett, Musk said. This is Zenith. He is the Vordari ambassador. The alien turned to look at Frank. It nodded its head slowly. Your discovery of our ship was impressive, Zenith said. His voice sounded like music. Many of your people have tried and failed to see through our cloaking technology. Frank didn't know what to say. He had never imagined he would meet an alien. Thank you, he finally managed to say. Please sit, Zenith said. We have much to discuss before the tribunal begins. Frank sat down across from the alien. The president was on a large screen on the wall. As I was explaining, Zenith continued, the Vordari have been watching Earth for centuries. We watch all developing worlds. When a planet's people reach a certain level of technology, we make contact. We invite them to join the Galactic Federation. And what is that exactly? The president asked. A group of over 300 civilizations who share knowledge, trade, and maintain peace in this part of the galaxy, Zenith replied. And you think Earth is ready to join? Asked the Secretary of Defense. Earth should have been ready 50 years ago, Zenith said. Your people developed computers, split the atom and went to your moon. You were on the right path. But then your progress slowed. We began to investigate why. Zenith touched a small device on his wrist. A hologram appeared. Above the table, it showed images of secret meetings, hidden files, and people Frank recognized as world leaders. We found that a small group of humans were actively stopping progress, Zenith said. They buried new energy technologies. They hid medical breakthroughs. They made sure humans stayed dependent on old ways of doing things. Why would anyone do that? Frank asked. Power, Musk said. Control. Money. Zenith nodded. These individuals found that they could gain much by keeping Earth's technology limited. They became very rich and powerful, while the rest of humanity struggled. The hologram changed to show Hillary Clinton in a meeting with other people. They were looking at papers with strange diagrams. Clinton was one of the main people doing this? Frank asked. She was part of a group called the Earth Resource Council, Zenith said. They claimed to protect Earth's interests, but they really just protected their own power. The president looked troubled. What proof do you have of all this? We have recordings of every meeting, Zenith said. Every phone call, every email. The Vordari see everything. We have been gathering evidence for decades. And now you want to arrest these people? The Secretary of Defense asked. Not arrest. Judge, Zenith corrected. The Vordari do not take people against their will. We will present the evidence to all humans. Then your people will decide what to do. Walsh leaned forward. You're going to show everyone on Earth what you found? Yes. The tribunal begins in 3 hours. All electronic devices on Earth will show our broadcast. Everyone will see the truth. The room was quiet for a moment. Then the president spoke. What about Clinton? Does she know about this? She has been told, Zenith said. All 38 humans on our list have been contacted. They will have a chance to explain their actions during the tribunal. Musk cleared his throat. I've spoken with some of the people on the list. Most of them are scared, but a few seem ready to talk. Why are you helping the Vordari? Frank asked Musk. Because I've seen what they're offering, Musk replied. Clean energy that could power the whole world. Medical technology that could help people live longer, healthier lives. Space travel that could take us to other stars. The Vordari want to share all of this with us, but first we need to deal with the people who have been holding us back. Zenith stood up. He was very tall, at least 7 feet. I must return to our ship to prepare for the tribunal, he said. Mr. Musk will act as the human representative during the proceedings. After Zenith left, Frank turned to Musk. You've known about this for how long? Almost 10 years, Musk said. The Vordari contacted me because they saw I was trying to push humanity forward with my companies. They showed me what was possible if we joined the Federation. And you never told anyone? Walsh asked. I tried at first, Musk said. I went to government officials, business leaders. No one believed me. Some even threatened me. That's when I realized how deep this went. How many powerful people were involved in keeping humanity down. Frank looked at the hologram that still floated above the table. It showed Clinton and others looking at technology that seemed far advanced from anything he had seen before. What happens if people don't believe the evidence? Frank asked. They will, Musk said. The Vordari evidence is perfect. They record everything. And they never lie. 2 hours later, Frank stood with Walsh and Musk on the roof of the Pentagon. Above them, 3 smaller Vordari ships hovered. The main ship was still above New York. It's almost time, Musk said, checking his watch. What will happen to Clinton and the others after the tribunal? Walsh asked. That depends on how they respond, Musk said. And on what humanity decides to do. Frank looked up at the alien ships. Do you think we're ready for this? To join a galactic federation? We better be, Musk replied. Because ready or not, everything changes today. Suddenly, all of their phones buzzed at the same time. Frank looked at his screen. A message appeared. The Tribunal of Progress begins now. Truth comes. Justice follows. Above them, the Vordari ships began to glow with bright blue light. The tribunal was beginning. Every screen on Earth showed the same image. The inside of the Vordari ship looked like a huge courtroom. In the center was a round platform. Zenith stood on one side of it. Elon Musk stood on the other side. Between them was a large ball of light that changed colors. Frank watched from a special room in the Pentagon. Director Walsh sat next to him. The president and other important government people were there too. "How are they doing this?" Frank asked, pointing at the screen. "How are they broadcasting to every device at once?" "Vordari technology is far beyond ours," Walsh said. "They can control any electronic signal on Earth." On the screen, Zenith raised his arms. The room got quiet. "People of Earth," Zenith said, his musical voice somehow being understood by everyone in their own language. "I am Zenith, ambassador of the Vordari and the Galactic Federation. Today is an important day for your world. Today, you learn the truth about your past and see the way to your future." The ball of light between Zenith and Musk grew larger. It showed images of Earth from space. For thousands of years, the Vordari have watched developing worlds. Zenith continued. "When a world reaches a certain level of technology, we invite them to join the Federation. Earth reached that level in the year you call 1972. Gasps filled the room. 1972 was over 50 years ago. "But something unusual happened," Zenith said. "Earth's progress slowed down. New technologies that should have changed your world were hidden. Breakthroughs that should have helped all humans were kept secret." The ball of light changed to show a group of people sitting around a large table. The image was from 1973. Frank recognized some of the people as business leaders and politicians. From that time, a group was formed, Zenith said. They called themselves the Earth Resource Council. They said they wanted to protect Earth's resources, but what they really wanted was to protect their own power and wealth. The ball showed more meetings of this group over the years. Different people came and went, but the purpose stayed the same: stop new technology from changing the world too quickly. These people found and buried new energy sources that would have been free for everyone, Zenith said. They hid medical treatments that could have saved millions of lives. They kept space travel limited to make sure humans stayed on Earth. The WAR images changed to show files being locked away, scientists being paid to stop their work, and strange devices being hidden in secret places. As the years passed, new people joined this group, Zenith said. The ball of light showed a meeting from 2001. Hilary Clinton walked into the room and sat down with the others. Some joined because they truly believed they were protecting humanity from changing too fast, Zenith said. Others joined for power and money. All of them worked together to keep humanity from reaching its true potential. In the Pentagon room, people were whispering to each other. The president looked very serious. "Is this real?" Frank asked Walsh. "Did all this really happen?" "The Vordari don't lie," Walsh said, "and they see everything." On the screen, Elon Musk stepped forward. "I understand this is hard for many of you to believe," Musk said. "I didn't believe it at first either. But the evidence is clear. For decades, a small group of people has been deciding what technologies the rest of us are allowed to have." The ball of light changed again. It showed Clinton in a meeting from 2015. "We can't let this energy technology get out," Clinton said in the recording. "It would crash the oil markets overnight. Millions of jobs would be lost. The economy would collapse." Another person at the meeting spoke up. "But this could provide free energy to everyone on Earth. No more power bills, no more pollution." "People aren't ready for that kind of change," Clinton replied. "We need to control the release of new technology. Too much change too quickly leads to chaos." The ball showed more meetings, more decisions to hide technologies, more lives that could have been saved with medical breakthroughs that were kept secret. In a courtroom in Washington, D.C., Hilary Clinton sat watching the broadcast with her lawyers. Her face was pale. Judge Samuel Wright sat behind his bench, his eyes wide as he watched the evidence unfold. Back on the Vordari ship, Zenith spoke again. "Now we come to the present day. The 38 humans who have been most active in hiding humanity's potential are here. The ball of light showed images of people sitting in rooms around the world, all watching the broadcast. Clinton was one of them. These humans will now face the tribunal of progress, Zenith said. They will explain their actions to all of humanity. Then all humans will decide what happens next. Musk stepped forward again. No one will be hurt in this process. The Vordari don't believe in physical punishment. This is about truth and change, not revenge. In the Pentagon room, Frank turned to Walsh. What does he mean? All humans will decide? How can everyone on Earth vote on this? The Vordari can connect to every electronic device, Walsh said. I'm guessing they'll use that to collect responses from people. On the screen, the ball of light changed again. It showed a new image. Clinton was being brought onto the Vordari ship. She looked nervous but determined. Judge Samuel Wright was with her, looking confused. Why is the judge there? Frank asked. I think they want a human legal expert to be part of this, Walsh replied. Zenith turned to face Clinton as she was brought to the center of the room. Hilary. Clinton, Zenith said, you have seen the evidence of your actions. You have seen how you helped hide technologies that could have helped humanity. Do you deny these actions? Clinton stood straight. I don't deny the actions, but I deny the way you're presenting them. We weren't trying to hurt humanity. We were trying to protect it. Protect it from what? Zenith asked. From chaos, Clinton said. From change that would come too fast for society to handle. Yes, we kept some technologies back, but we did it to maintain stability, to prevent economic collapse and social unrest. Judge Wright stepped forward. I would like to understand my role here. Why have I been brought to this tribunal? Zenith turned to the judge. You are here to ensure that human legal principles are followed, to make sure this process is fair by human standards. And what happens at the end of this process? Wright asked. That, Zenith said, is what we are about to find out. The tribunal continued for hours. Clinton answered questions about many secret meetings and hidden technologies. She kept saying that she and the Earth Resource Council were trying to protect people from too much change too fast. We had to think about the whole world, Clinton said. What happens when millions of oil workers lose their jobs overnight? What happens when big drug companies suddenly can't sell their medicine because a new technology can cure diseases for almost no cost? Society needs time to adjust. Zenith listened to all of this with his big dark eyes showing no emotion. Judge Wright sat nearby, sometimes asking questions to make sure the process was fair. Frank and Walsh watched from the Pentagon room. The president had left to talk with other world leaders about what was happening. Do you think she's telling the truth? Frank asked. That they were just trying to protect people from too much change? Walsh shrugged. Maybe that's how they saw it. But they still made these decisions for everyone without telling us. They decided what technologies we could and couldn't have, Ani. The screen, Zenith spoke. We have heard Clinton's explanation. Now we will hear from someone else who can give us a different view. The ball of light changed to show Elon Musk walking toward the center of the room. He looked confident as he stood next to Clinton. For years I tried to push humanity forward, Musk said. Electric cars, space travel, brain interfaces, and at every step I hit walls. Regulations that made no sense. Funding that disappeared. Media attacks. Now I know why. The ball of light showed meetings where people from the Earth Resource Council talked about stopping Musk's work. We need to slow him down, one person said in a meeting from 2015. His companies are moving too fast. He's going to release technologies before we're ready. Clinton nodded in the recording. Find ways to create problems for him. Nothing too obvious. Just enough to slow things down. In the present, Musk turned to Clinton. You tried to stop my work because it was going to change things too quickly? Clinton looked tired. Yes. Your plans would have disrupted too many industries at once. We needed to manage the pace of change. But that wasn't your decision to make, Musk said. You didn't tell the public what you were doing. You didn't let people vote on it. You just decided for everyone. Judge Wright leaned forward. Ms. Clinton, did you and this council ever consider just telling people the truth? Explaining why you were holding back these technologies? People would never have understood, Clinton replied. They would have demanded everything at once. It would have been chaos. Suddenly, the ball of light in the center of the room pulsed brightly. Zenith looked surprised, which was the first real emotion the alien had shown. "We are receiving a request," Zenith said. "One of our ships has found something unusual, something the Council has been hiding that even we did not know about." Everyone watched as the ball showed a new image. A Vordari ship hovered over a mountain. In a remote part of Alaska, the mountain began to open, revealing a hidden door. Inside was a massive room filled with strange devices and machines. "What is this place?" Zenith asked Clinton. Clinton looked shocked. I don't know. This wasn't part of our work." "You're lying," Musk said. "This is the Gateway facility. It's where the Council kept the most advanced technologies. Even I didn't know exactly where it was." The ball showed Vordari entering the hidden base. They found rooms full of amazing devices, clean energy machines that could power cities without pollution, medical devices that could heal almost any disease. And in the center of the facility, something that made even Zenith gasp. "That is a faster-than-light drive," Zenith said. "Humans have already created faster-than-light technology?" The ball showed a large device that glowed with strange blue light. It looked like an engine, but unlike any engine Frank had ever seen. "It was developed in 2011, Musk said, his voice filled with anger. "A team of scientists working in secret created it. The Council took it and hid it away. They said humanity wasn't ready to travel to other stars." Clinton looked down. It was too dangerous. If everyone had this technology, anyone could build ships to leave Earth. There would be no way to control who went where. No way to make sure humans didn't cause problems with other worlds. Judge Wright stood up. "So you not only decided what technologies people could have, you decided that humanity should stay trapped on one planet. That was never your right." People around the world watching this were getting angry. Social media was filled with millions of messages from people shocked at what had been hidden from them. Zenith turned to face the cameras that were broadcasting to Earth. "People of Earth, you have seen the evidence. The Council has been hiding technologies that could have helped all humans. They have even kept you from reaching the stars. Now you must decide what happens next." The ball of light changed again. It showed a voting system appearing on every screen and phone on Earth. People could vote on what should happen to Clinton and the other Council members. "No one will be physically harmed," Zenith explained. "But you must decide if these people should continue to have power and influence in your world." In the Pentagon room, Frank's phone showed the voting options. He could vote to remove Clinton and the others from all positions of power, or he could vote to let them keep their positions. "This is incredible," Frank said. "The whole world is voting at once." Walsh nodded. "And look at that third option." Frank looked at his phone again. There was a third choice: transform the Council's purpose. "What does that mean?" Frank asked. Back on the Vordari ship, Musk stepped forward. "I have a suggestion," he said. "Instead of just punishing the Council members, we could give them a new job. They could help release all these technologies in a controlled way. They were right about one thing. Too much change, too fast, can cause problems. But they should work openly, not in secret." Zenith seemed to consider this. This would be unusual, but it might work. Judge Wright nodded. "It makes sense. They understand these technologies. They understand the potential problems. Let them help manage the change, but with everything in the open this time." Clinton looked surprised. "You would trust us to do this after what we did?" "Not trust," Musk said. "Verify. The Vordari see everything, remember? There would be no more secrets. You would work with experts and elected officials from around the world. Everything would be public." Zenith turned to the cameras again. "People of Earth, you have a third choice now. Transform the Council from a secret group hiding technology to a public group helping to share technology safely. The choice is yours." Across the world, people began to vote. The voting lasted for 24 hours. Over 5 billion people around the world voted. Frank barely slept during this time. He stayed in the Pentagon room, watching the numbers change on the big screen. When the voting ended, Zenith and Musk stood together on the Vordari ship. Clinton and Judge Wright waited nearby. The ball of light showed the final results. 67% of Earth had voted for the third option: transform the Council. The people have decided, Zenith said. The Earth Resource Council will be changed, not ended. They will now work openly to help share the hidden technologies with all humans. Clinton looked relieved. Thank you for this chance. I promise we will do better. You will, Zenith said, because now everyone will be watching. Judge Wright stepped forward. I would like to help oversee this new process, to make sure it follows proper legal standards. That would be acceptable, Zenith said. Musk smiled. Now the real work begins. We need to start planning how to release these technologies without causing the very problems the Council was afraid of. Over the next few days, Frank watched as the world began to change. The Vordari ship stayed in Earth's orbit. They sent teams to help open all the secret bases where technologies had been hidden. News stations showed amazing devices being brought out into the light for the first time. 1 week after the voting, Frank sat in a meeting room at the White House. Director Walsh was there, along with the President, Clinton, Musk, Judge Wright, and Zenith. The first phase is going well, Clinton said. She looked different now, more open, less guarded. We've started releasing the clean energy technology in 50 test cities around the world. So far, no major problems. What about job losses? The President asked. The oil industry is already worried. We're using the transition plan we developed years ago, Clinton replied. Oil workers are being trained to work with the new energy systems. Their pay is guaranteed during the transition. Musk nodded. The medical technologies are next. We're starting with the cancer cure. Hospitals are being trained on the new devices now. Judge Wright looked at his notes. The legal framework is almost ready. New laws to make sure these technologies are available to everyone, not just rich countries or rich people. Frank had been quiet during the meeting. Finally, he spoke up. What about the faster-than-light drive? When will people know about that? Everyone looked at Zenith. The alien ambassador had been watching the humans with his dark eyes. That technology requires special attention, Zenith said. Once humans can travel to other stars easily, you will meet other civilizations. You need to be prepared for that. Are we ready? Frank asked. Almost, Zenith replied. The Galactic Federation has voted to accept Earth as a probationary member. This means you can start limited travel to other systems, with Vordari guidance. The President leaned forward. How soon could we send a ship? The drive from the Alaska base is already being studied by your scientists, Zenith said. With Vordari help, they could have a ship ready in 6 months. Musk smiled. I've already started, working on the ship design. We're calling it the Earth Unity. 3 months later, Frank stood in a massive new building in Texas. The hidden technologies were allowing humans to build things faster than ever before. The Earth Unity was taking shape before his eyes. It looked like a large silver arrow, sleek and powerful. Natalie Rodriguez, one of Frank's colleagues from the Space Intelligence Agency, walked up beside him. She had been helping coordinate between human and Vordari engineers. Can you believe this is happening? She asked. 6 months ago, we didn't even know aliens were real. Now we're building a ship to visit other stars. Frank nodded. And all because I noticed something strange in the data. You're going to be on the first crew, right? Natalie asked. Yes, Musk asked me personally. You too? Natalie smiled. First communications officer of the Earth Unity. I still can't believe it. They watched as Vordari and human workers moved around the ship. The aliens were tall and graceful, helping the humans understand the new technologies. Clinton walked up to them. She had become the leader of the New Technology Transition Council, working to make sure the hidden technologies were shared safely. It's impressive, isn't it? She said, looking at the ship. Why did you keep all this from people for so long? Frank asked. He had wanted to ask her this question for months. Clinton sighed. Fear. We were afraid of change, afraid of what might happen if things moved too fast. We thought we were protecting people. Now I see we were just holding them back. At least you're helping fix it now, Natalie said. It's the least I can do, Clinton replied. 6 months after the tribunal, the Earth Unity was ready. Frank stood on the bridge of the ship, looking at the main screen. Earth looked beautiful from orbit, a blue jewel in the darkness of space. All systems ready? Natalie said from her station. Vordari navigation is locked in. Destination: Alpha Centauri, Musk said. He had insisted on being part of the first crew. Travel time with the FTL drive: 2 days. Frank could hardly believe what was happening. Humans were about to travel to another star system. All the technologies that had been hidden were now changing the world. Clean energy was replacing oil and coal. New medical devices were curing diseases that had once been fatal. And now, space travel beyond anything he had imagined. On a screen, he could see people gathered in cities around the world, watching the launch of the Earth Unity. Judge Wright was speaking to a crowd at the United Nations, explaining what this moment meant for humanity. Zenith stood beside him, representing the Galactic Federation. Faster-than-light drive engaged, the ship's engineer said. Frank felt a slight vibration. On the screen, the stars began to shift and stretch. Earth disappeared from view. We're on our way, Musk said. This is just the beginning. Frank thought about how much had changed because of one discovery. One moment when he noticed something strange in the data. The secret was out, the technologies were free, and humanity was finally reaching for the stars, together. Next stop, Frank said. The galaxy.